Right, everyone. Celtic are how many points clear at the top of the Premiership?
9, I believe, Hamish. After
Nine's
that.
a lovely number, isn't it, everyone? Lovely number, lovely number. How are you feeling, Asim?
Brilliant. Honestly, we've been saying it all week. It was just a case of getting these wins under our belts and try to keep the lead at 7 is what we thought at the time.
Yeah.
And then to come into the game, obviously with them dropping points, you're just like, right, let's get this win. And going behind, again, we showed great character in that second half, and I thought that really just galvanised the support, and I thought the second half we showed really good character to come back, and just delighted that you felt it at the end as well, didn't you?
Amazing. Listen, we'll come on to all
that.
that.
I get carried away.
I want to apologise right away. My voice is not quite 100%. Who we blame that on? David Munro, I think his name was, the referee today. Maybe we'll come on and talk about him as well. Team today. We'll start, back at 1:45 whenever the team came out. Few changes today. Yeah. What was your thoughts when the team came out?
I'll be honest, Amy, I feel like I felt like we may be making too many changes game by game at the moment, just in terms of, and I feel like that's impacting our fluidity. I was hoping Jota would have started. I just feel like he's our most creative player, so I was surprised he wasn't included. But we've got such a good squad that you're never too disappointed. Everyone that comes in, you feel is going to do a job. But I thought Jota might have started. Other than that, again, Bernabe coming in. I know he's rotated him and Taylor quite a lot in the last couple of weeks. Glad to see Ralston starting. I think he is our best right back at the moment. So I went into it thinking there's enough there for us to get off to a good start.
Do you think Ange is, I know it's a friendly tournament, do you think he's looking at the Sydney Super Cup and maybe he doesn't necessarily want to win the tournament, well I guess he does, but certainly wants to really put on 2 good performances, given that he's going back to Australia? Yeah,
and I thought it's funny you said that, because I even listened to him in the press conference in response to the questions about obviously Steve Clarke's comments and about taking the squad that we are, and you can tell he is taking this seriously.
He wants to put a show on.
He wants to put a show on. He knows how rare it is that Celtic are playing back in Australia. He knows how big we are over there, and obviously it's his home country. And I think he's taking it seriously. I think he wants to put on a good show. So whether that's in his thinking, because it is our last competitive game for a while, so there was no reason to potentially not play your Jota.
He was asked yesterday at the press conference, and I can't remember exactly who it was, but they were saying effectively this is the last game before the break, and I kind of was looking at him when that word was used, break, and this isn't a break. I don't think we're coming up to, as much as I've probably used that in the channel, and for fans to an extent it is a break, because we're not going to be here, we're certainly not going to be playing a competitive match for over a month. I get the impression Ange is kind of viewing these 2 games coming up as just being further matches and a real opportunity for the team to A, put on a performance, and B, win 2 matches. So I think that factored into the team to an extent today, but I think it was still a strong team, and I don't think there was any real bad performances in the players that were put in. I mean, for example, left hand side, usually it's Taylor, Jota, they're the guys who've been doing so well lately. Today it was Bernabe, Haksabanovic, and I thought both of those guys had really good games. First half, I tweeted this at half time, great stats, Asim. First goalless first half since Real Madrid came here. First domestic goalless first half since Ross County away at the start of the season.
Just after your video yesterday about all the first half early goals as well, wasn't it?
I know, I was looking at that clock and it went to 15 minutes and we hadn't scored. But general thoughts in the first half?
I thought we were quite flat, I'll be honest. I don't think we were.
Do you expect a wee bit more given the buzz in the air?
Yeah, I thought that having gone into it knowing that they've dropped points and it's our last competitive game at home, and I thought we might have came out the traps a bit quicker. I don't think we were like you said, I don't think there was any bad performances. I just think it was a bit slow at times, a bit the passing wasn't as fluid, and I do feel when Jota isn't there, we do miss a bit of a spark. I thought, like you said, the left hand side was still strong with I thought Bernabe travels with the ball really well, doesn't he? He's fun to watch him because he's so raw, but he does travel with the ball well, and I thought him and Haksabanovic were doing well. On Maeda struggled again at times, I thought, with his final ball, but was busy enough. So I don't think we were poor, but we weren't really creating. We had a couple of chances, didn't we, with Kyogo's one in particular. I think he was through and just dragged it wide, but it just felt like we just needed the tempo to be up. I wasn't concerned at half time. I just thought that we'll come out and we'll get going, and obviously it went the other way.
Is this the point for referee chat? I don't think he's I can't remember him refereeing before. If he has, he certainly kind of went under the radar. Certainly didn't go under the radar today. I mean, we've won the game, and I think it's very easy at the moment with all the chat about VAR to kind of pick on refs a bit, and I would happily do a video and not talk about refs at all, but even kind of away from VAR didn't really play a huge part in the game. I just thought it was a really strange performance. That one in the first half that I was screaming at, probably half the reason for my voice was the one, I don't know if you remember, when the keeper
picked it up, stopped,
kicked it,
put
and then
it back
picked
down.
it up again and
then a foul was given, wasn't it?
As far as I'm concerned, that's indirect free kick to
That's
Celtic,
right.
unless the rules have changed. And you're just kind of left scratching your head.
There was the one, I think, with O'Reilly as well, with I think it was a through ball, and he gave a foul against O'Reilly.
Right.
It was just a number of weird decisions again, and I'm the same as you. I don't like talking about it constantly after every game, and we're winning games, so it's not like we're being sore losers with it or anything. But
it does feel like kind of everything's kind of coming up against us at the moment, though.
And it is every game, and I seen a tweet there with comments from Matt O'Reilly, and I think he's alluded to it. It's some strange decisions to say the least, he said, but they can't stop us, I think was the line. So yeah, look, and I felt in that second half it felt like that in the ground, and with the players it was almost a defiance that they're going to try and do everything here, and it's game by game. The decisions are getting worse, they're getting more and more baffling, and I like that Andrew's kind of even not called it out, but he's making kind of some wee remarks in reference to it, because I feel like it needs to be said that we seem to be getting the brunt of all these awful decisions game by game. I've not seen it back with regards to handball, so
I've not seen it back either. Just to chuck him in at the deep end, John McGinley apparently says that it was never a penalty. He's going to hate me for that. And also he says he's listening to I think people in Sports Sound, and effectively all of them are saying, all of them are stunned that it was given by the referee.
And that's the common theme here: stunned midweek that the challenge on Starfelt wasn't a red, stunned the week before that the penalty was given. It seems like it's happening every game.
VAR looked at it because the penalty was given, and then they did a VAR check. So would a VAR check have taken place if it had been a stone waller? I don't think so. So there was clearly some sort of doubt that it was a penalty, and yet it was still given. Listen, it's really hard for us to comment because we haven't actually seen a replay. We're just going off what people are saying. County score it, and the thing I want to bring up is, once again, I think there was a feeling when County scored their goal, celebrating, that there was no real panic inside the stadium. I think the Celtic support still stuck with the team immensely, and I think it almost helps when the decisions are going against you, because you get that siege mentality.
100%.
But I just thought the support, we've been here a lot of games in the past when Celtic have conceded goals and the support have turned on the team. The support didn't turn on the team at all, and I thought the team played brilliantly in the second half after that.
I agree. There did feel like that kind of siege mentality. I thought the crowd just lifted, the urgency straight away from kick-off. We were taking throw-ins much quicker, and it did feel like a sense of defiance that screw it, we're going to still dig this out.
Was it similar to last weekend that we maybe took the goal to spur the team?
I said that to my brother. That lifted us, and you don't want to get into the habit of that, going behind and then needing that. But in the instances where it's happened this season, be it St Johnstone, be it Dundee United last week, and here again, you've got that trust and faith in this group, and they've got it in themselves that there's no panic. And I didn't, 1-0 down, I wasn't fearing the worst at that point. I still felt there's plenty of time in this, and we got the equaliser reasonably early as well,
which is crazy though, because it's 55 minutes I think when the goal goes in, maybe just before.
Their goal.
Yeah. And as I say, we've been at games in the past when Celtic teams have panicked and the atmosphere has become almost toxic.
Every misplaced pass and there's groans, and it wasn't like that.
What do you think it would take for the Celtic support to turn on the team? Because it feels at the moment as if there's just such a belief in everyone in that stadium. Last week, 87th minute equaliser. I think a lot of the stadium still had belief we were going to score a winner. Today you go 1-0 down, there's still just such a belief. I mean, the belief obviously comes from the fact that this team have scored so many goals late on, and have come back. Today's goals weren't even late, but have come back from losing positions. But I think even more than that, there's such a trust in the manager and in the players that they'll get the job done, even if we kind of have to overcome hurdles.
I think you're right. I think it goes right from top to bottom. Players, manager and fans now, we're all in alignment, and we're all we've got that trust in it. I don't even think that would change if there goes a game where we don't get that late. The St Mirren game happened, and it was just a terrible performance, and we didn't ever look like getting in that game. But look how many times since then we've managed to recover from losing positions or drawing positions, and it just feels like we're all heading in that same direction right now. And obviously it helps with what's going on across the city, because we know you've got that cushion, so there's not that need to panic, and there's not that need to it doesn't feel like every game's it is, because listen, make no mistake, that's a massive swing in the last 2 weeks. We've gone from 2 points, which and as much as we were the better team all season, I feel, and they were only 2 points behind us 2 weeks ago, and that was quite annoying. But now this is a much fairer reflection of where both sides are at, and you just feel like the breaks came perfectly, because I feel like we're in such a good position. I think we're going to get better as well. We've seen that last season. We come back stronger, and I think we will.
Equalising goal goes in. It's David Turnbull. Can we just talk about Rio Hatate? You can talk about him for that move. You can talk about him generally in the second half because he was sensational.
Took the game by the scruff of the neck. He's for me, like him and Greg Taylor this season have been our most consistent performers, and he again just in that second half when we needed something, he was the one. Whether it's winning challenges, the intensity of play.
It's a good point about the challenges. He had
he's got a bit of everything there, and the bit of skill. He's got that bit of magic as well, and the set-up play for the goal was brilliant. And did you see him at the end? He collapsed, like at full time. He just collapsed as well because he put so much into it.
Did Joe Hart run over to him?
I think Joe Hart ran over to him, and he was on the ground. And he's getting better and better week in, week out. Japan must have some midfield if he's not getting in there because I think he's just getting better. And he deserved that. He deserved that man of the match again today, and that was a key moment in the game because it was at a right good time to get the equaliser, wasn't it?
But two really good goals as well. I mean, the first goal is magic. Hatate just doesn't panic at all. Kind of beats the guy, and even at that stage, you're thinking, is he going to have a shot? Is he going to
pick someone
hit at it? He cuts it back, and even at that stage, Turnbull kind of rather than taking it the first time, takes his touch and slots it, I think, with his left foot, and then the main man. Haksabanovic,
I thought it might have got more of a ringing in.
He's not joined in.
Maybe later. Just good composure from Turnbull, I thought, because there's a lot of players around him at that time. Easy just to maybe just aimlessly go for it. But I thought he took his time with it, and I thought that was a great goal. Good for him as well. And Haksabanovic, brilliant.
Lovely finish, isn't it?
It's like
I've only seen it once live, and I might be miles off of this. Reminds me,
Gary Hooper,
Ibrox.
Aye,
yes,
that's the exact thing I thought at the time.
Yes,
kind of side foot.
I'd love to see the kind of
finesse
behind the net angle of it curling in. It probably isn't, because that was an unbelievable goal. But
I
reminded
think
me
it's
of
equally
that.
as good as that, and it looked like no backlift again. Like he just took it very quickly. It was another
shot came
1-2,
out of nowhere,
and it was a great moment. And again, I'm glad to see him getting in the goals now because I feel like he's deserved that. He's been doing everything but, and 3 in the last week. So it was brilliant. And I don't know how long it'd gone at that point, but I didn't ever feel.
Probably 65-ish.
So we had quite a bit of time, and I thought we kept going for it this time. Like you look at last week's game at 2-1 against Dundee United, you felt like it was the other way around, wasn't it? We were looking like the team that was kind of slowing down, and they were coming in. I didn't feel it 2-1 today. We did. I felt like we kept going for that third goal, almost too much. There was times at the end my brother's like, "Why are we not going to the corner?" And we're going trying to get another goal. So just it typifies the way we are at the moment. Yeah,
just two really good goals, and again, it wasn't a late double today.
No.
I think we're ahead with a good bit of the game to go, and you're kind of looking around the stadium going, what were we all kind of even getting a tiny bit stressed about in this game? Performance wise, who stood out? Who would you give man of the match to today?
I think we both kind of mentioned Hatate for me was the standout.
Right.
He got it in the stadium as well. I thought Bernabe was good.
Yep.
I thought Bernabe I mentioned earlier, just the way he comes away. It's good because we've got two different types of left backs now, don't we? And they can both be effective. I thought Ralston again, did more than enough to suggest that he is our number one right back at the moment.
Yep.
Carter Vickers strolled it again.
But Starfelt was good when he came on. What was that? End of the first half. Hopefully Jens is all right.
Yep.
You're kind of less worried about that with there not being a competitive game. But I thought Starfelt really came on and was exactly what we needed at that stage. Had a couple of kind of really good passes. I didn't think there was a real standout today, maybe other than Hatate. Riley was all right. Turnbull got his goal. Front three were kind of okay. Kyogo, it was a quieter game.
I thought Gigi did well when he came on.
He got stuck in.
He gets stuck in, and he a couple of times he held it up nicely and just kind of brought others into play. He's always a wee bit ungainly on the ball sometimes, doesn't he? He gets tangled up.
Just tall, mate. He's just tall.
But he's I thought he did well when he came on, and Abada was looking lively as well. I don't think there was any standouts, and I don't think there was anyone that was like way below par either. It was just I thought the second half was just really good to see though, because we've had a week of, like you say, the performances haven't been our fluent best, but different moments in the games, in each games we've showed enough again, and that's what you want to see. And I think it's a nice kind of feeling the way we came back today. It's a good way to go into that break.
Almost a follow on from last week here in this Celtic team. No matter what you throw at them, officials wise, opposition wise, they find a way to overcome it. We're 9 points clear. Celebrations at full time are amazing. I think there's part of it is that it feels like a kind of a full stop at this stage in terms of we're not going to see the team play a competitive match, I think, for over a month, certainly here. And I think there's a point where you do look at the league table and you kind of look at the first. I know John said it's it's not quite half a season. It's not
What,
far
15
off.
are we
It's
15
15 games, which is it's more than a third of the season.
Within a week of coming back, we'll have probably played 18 games.
So we're 9 points clear. We're not going to make any major statements here, of course. We'd never do that in the channel. In fact, I'm going to make a major statement. I know we kind of we shy away from saying anything that might come back to bite us. I'm going to say it.
Is that Gio?
Gio. I'm going to say it. You spoiled my moment there.
Sorry.
I think Celtic are going to be top at Christmas. Honestly, I really do. I think we're going to be top at Christmas, mate. I
Bold
know
statement.
it might be out there, but I've just got a feeling we're going to be top at Christmas.
That's a bold one.
Genuinely though, how about the overall campaign? 9 points clear.
So you compare it to this time last season. What were we going in 6 behind?
Yeah,
it's just a brilliant position to be in, and you can only see. I mentioned it earlier. I can only see us getting better after the break. And that's with us won 14 out of 15 games. But I think now that obviously Europe's totally out of the picture, who knows whether there'll be further recruitments in January as well.
I think there will be.
We've got, I think, is it 3 games before the January window?
Yes, we've got Aberdeen's our first game back,
and it's just nice going into and obviously we've got to play them in the after New Year at Ibrox, but it's just nice to go in with such a big cushion because the amount of pressure that's on them now.
I think last season was like neck and neck the whole way through, and now we're 9 points clear.
And I don't think we'll be complacent. That's the key here, is not to be complacent and not to, because you've seen what happened there with them last year as well.
But I don't think we will either. Yep. But even if you are complacent,
you've got the cushion.
No, even if you're complacent and you're level or 1-0 down with half an hour to go, you're probably coming back and winning the game anyway. I just honestly I just think this is a really, really good time to be a Celtic fan. And after the game, you can see that in the celebrations. It was amazing. It
was as joyous as it's been quite for. I know we had obviously the bit late victory last week.
Yeah,
but
Ange came over. Right, I'm about 40 yards away, so I can't claim to see exactly what was on his face. I think I saw a wry smile on his face when they're all singing the Postecoglou song. I think there was a smile on his face, and I'm going to say what I think it meant. I think he is delighted with the start of this season. Yeah, the Champions League was a disappointment, but 9 points clear. I think he needs to remind himself of where we were when he came to the club, and he's got us now sitting on top of the league by a country mile, by the way. And we can go and enjoy the next month. I thought it was magic. Yeah. Gio gets his chant as well. Did you hear that?
I heard that. I was singing that on the way out.
Celtic's player of the season.
Also, Ange at 2-1. I seen it on Twitter, but he kind of gave a rallying call to the crowd as well.
Right.
So you can tell he's feeling good about himself and he's feeling good about where we're at. And it's just a nice way for him. Obviously, he's got his introduction to the Hall of Fame today, and then he's gone over to home, for the Sydney Cup. So it's just all aligning perfectly for him, and he deserves that as well, to go in 9 points clear, and he will be all smiles, and rightly so.
Yeah. Any negatives?
Like
just that the performance can come
up. Yeah, I don't know what you make of that, but I do feel like we're making quite a lot of changes game by game the last couple of weeks. I don't know if that is just with the last couple of weeks in mind after the Champions League.
I think you'll continue to see it.
Do you think so? I don't know if that's, for me, I think sometimes when you have a consistency in players getting used to each other, or not used to each other, they played a lot, but just patterns of play and things like that, it can help build. But that's me kind of maybe clutching at straws. I think generally,
it's an interesting point. I mean, I don't think you're alone in thinking that if we saw maybe a more consistent team, we'd maybe see a higher level of consistent performance.
Because it is 5 or 6 changes per game, which is quite a lot. Yeah. But it's a testament to how strong the squad is that we're consistently winning the games.
The Celts are here. What the hell do we care? What the hell do we care?
This guy's a legend.
There you go.
Aye, legends, Asim.
It just shows you how good everyone's feeling at the moment.
I think they were in the. I think they opened a bar earlier at Celtic Park, 11-1. They must have been in there, banging the door in at 11. Enjoy your night, lads. But just generally, mate, it's a good time.
It's good times, and like the squad, like we've, as I was saying, we've made these changes, but we're consistently getting the points. Performance-wise, I think that will improve, and Ange's mentioned as well, we've already done our January transfer planning.
He's already looking at the summer.
Everything's rosy right now, and that's it's what we want as Celtic fans, and it is such a good time to be a fan, as you said.
Yeah, they're cheering back there, so I think we need to go back and meet them. They've waited long enough. Must be some big dog coming out. We're going to leave it there, everyone. Thank you once again for watching this video. Thanks to Asim for joining us. No video tomorrow. We'll be back on Monday. I think Joe is back with us on Monday. And it's all smiles, everyone. It's all good. Celtic aren't going to be back playing here for a while, but the next time we are, we're going to have a healthy lead at the top of the Premiership. Have a lovely weekend, everyone. We'll speak to you soon.